Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order. We'll let Dennis continue.
All right.
It's not a problem. We can keep going.
No.
Very informal here. Because we have such a small group, I didn't expect a big group. This is the meeting of the general membership. It's a special meeting of Drum Point Property Owners Association, a special meeting with the express purpose of the presentation of the nominating committee's work to find people to run for the board. But before, we're going to take the opportunity though to approve the minutes that from last December's meeting, which has never been approved. So, that's what I'm looking for. All right, I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion about those minutes? They were handed out as you entered, if you want. Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes say aye.
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 Opposed? None? Okay, so the minutes are approved. The next item on the agenda is the nominating committee, and June is here to present the slate of candidates that the nominating committee has put together. June, you have the floor.
The candidates that have been chosen are Paula Walker, Libby Fall, and John Rivera. And if, are any of you here tonight? Okay, and you are?
Sure.
John Rivera, how do you do? Hi. So these are the individuals that we have slated to be on the board,
Well, on the ballot.
on the ballot, okay.
Well, thank you very much. John, would you like to introduce yourself to the group?
Yes, I'm John Romero. I moved to Drum Point about a little over a year ago now. Live over on Bowie, that short street off of back end of Pilot. So I kind of live in the woods. Came here from Sigonella Naval Air Station, and now I'm the Deputy Public Works Officer over here on the base. I have a long background with public works and construction, going back 40-some years now.
So, operations background.
Right.
Excellent.
A lot of operations, a little bit of environmental. When I worked for the Army Corps of Engineers up in New England, so got a lot of experience with interface with local and state governments and federal. So I think I can bring a lot. At least that I can bring that experience to the community, and I like the community that I live in, wherever I am, to be the best I can make it. So I'm looking forward to helping.
Great, we appreciate it, we really do. And looking forward to you getting involved. And as I explained earlier, the term, assuming that you're elected, will be starting on July 1st. Unfortunately, Libby Fall couldn't make it.
Paula is not well.
I know, and I was going to say, Paula is ill. She said she was going to make it if she could, but Paula has served for almost a year in filling a slot as an appointee. So she's got a leg up. Libby will have a learning curve, but Libby, I really don't know what her background is, but I'm sure she'll do a good job.
Tell what her background is?
Sure.
Okay. I have their biographies right here.
Okay, if you could
All right.
hit the highlights on that.
Libby Fall is a proud native Washingtonian, born in Washington, D.C. and raised in Kensington, Maryland, in Montgomery County. She graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Maryland, College Park in 1979, with majors in art history and urban studies. In her first career, Libby worked in Washington for 20-plus years as a public relations professional for various trade associations. She began as a communications associate with the Aluminum Association in 1979. Later, she held the position of communications director with the International Food Information Council, Biotechnology Industry Organization, and the National Food Processors Association. Her professional memberships included accreditation by the Public Relations Society of America, an associate member in the National Science Writers Association, and the National Press Club. She also served as the director on the boards of Foundation Earth, an organization of national farming interests, and the National Foundation for IPM Education, with responsibility for allocating EPA annual grants for advancing awareness and impact for integrated pest management. In 2004, Libby began her second career in real estate sales with Long & Foster Real Estate.
I used to work for them, and we called it Long and Foister.
Okay. As a licensee in Virginia, Maryland, and the District of Columbia. She obtained an associate broker license in Virginia in 2007. She joined McEnery Associates Realtors in Arlington, Virginia as an associate broker in 2014. Her volunteer work in the community has included 10 years with Meals on Wheels in Arlington County, Virginia, and 5 years with the Animal Welfare League of Arlington. She also has been an active participant in the Art League of Alexandria, Virginia. Libby moved with her husband Bruce to the Drum Point community in Lusby, Maryland in October of 2015, where she plans to continue her professional real estate career and pursue interests in fine arts and community organizations. As far as what knowledge and skills does she have that she feels would be of value to the community? Real estate law. And I am a licensed realtor in Maryland, Virginia, and DC with 12 years experience. 20-plus years in the communications industry. And she could give as much as 10 to 20 hours per month in her volunteer work here. Let's see, as to what category she's interested in serving. She is interested to learn more about the community management and interface with state, county, and federal agencies. Also, waterfront issues, and generally serve her community while getting better acquainted with my neighbors. She has served on other board of directors, and they are 7 years with the National Foundation of IPM, and she listed most of those in her biography that I've already read.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, do you want me to read Paula's?
No, that's fine.
All right.
Paula has been serving for a while, so. Okay, so that's the slate of candidates that's been brought forward by the
That's okay.
committee. So now I'll open the floor to nominations from the floor. Do we have any nominations from the floor for people to be on the ballot?
Oh,
I move the nominations be closed.
Thank you. That's next. I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? All those in favor of closing the nominations, say aye.
Aye.
Not sure I had to do that. Okay, nominations are now closed. Since we only have 3 candidates and 3 openings, we could, if we so feel, with a motion to elect by acclamation or elect the slate of candidates now. I would entertain that motion.
I
Dennis?
move that we elect the 3 candidates by acclamation.
Okay,
I
and
second it.
we have a second. Is there any discussion about that? What I'm going to ask you to do then is you have a vote here. If you didn't get one, you probably aren't remembering good standing. Everybody got one. So if you would just rip it and give it to Rhea, and I will tally the vote.
Is it yes, we're in favor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we're in favor of electing these folks.
You turn it upside down, it says on.
Very good, Peter.
She is so talented. I am always amazed at the depth you bring to the table.
See? Yeah,
But that only works if the other vote is off.
I'll write that down.
Okay, so while we're finishing that process, let's open the floor to public comment. We went very quickly tonight because there wasn't much to handle. And since we automatically had a quorum, according to Maryland state law title, Maryland state law in regards to corporations and associations, the annotated code title 5, subtitle 2, paragraph 5.206, which allows us to have a meeting. I have to say that. And we are, so we have a quorum because of that. Do you want to go ahead and count? Yeah. Yeah, I think I trusted you. So, welcome to Floor Public Comment. Does anyone have anything they would like to talk about tonight? Like a cell phone tower?
Yes.
Anybody want to talk about that? Yes, let's talk about that.
Well, I'm not well prepared to talk about it. I was in another meeting until about 20 minutes ago when I found out about the cell tower. I didn't even know anything about it. And, but anyway, I'm quite upset about it, of course, because this is going to be right down the road from my house. And apparently it was not advertised at all because I didn't see any sign or anything, and I never heard anybody over my way ever mention it, so,
It's been in for a couple of years, they've been talking about it.
is that right?
About 3 years, isn't it?
2.5 years.
Yeah, it's been in our newsletters for the association.
I
as well.
provided a DPPOA with a notice of the cell tower twice. It was in their newsletter. I've made a number of notifications to people here and members of the Drum Point Club. And we tried to get it out so everyone would know about it.
Oh.
It's also been in the newspaper, sir.
Yeah, it's been in the newspaper. It's, you know,
Well,
we,
I've been out of it.
But that's okay, but
It's
what,
okay.
but if you got any questions about it, I can probably
Yeah.
address any of your issues.
yeah, what's your concern?
Your house, wanna know.
Well,
The
I-
visual thing, or? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but, you know, what is your concern?
Those of you that don't know me, I'm John Wagner, and I was on the original board of directors for Drum Point in 1971. I was president in the early 80s. And I'm concerned about the visual part of it.
We need to see it, I don't think.
Well, first of all, you
But
should.
let's
Go ahead.
let him finish.
That's not the honest thing. I think to have a cell tower in the middle of Drum Point is going to really degrade the whole subdivision. Many people over the years have put thousands of hours into beautifying this neighborhood, this subdivision. And it's one of the prettiest in southern Maryland.
Here.
And a cell tower is just going to ruin that image. And it's going to ruin property values. I guarantee it's going to hurt property values.
Let Mr. Wagner talk.
It's, I don't really, I'd like to hear, after I finish, what the motivation is for putting it there. Who's going to gain from this, and why we would even consider it at all. But I think that a cell tower within a certain radius of it is going to interfere with other radio type signals and television and radio, car radio and things like that. And that would really be a problem to all of us around here. I just think it's a real bad idea. And I don't see what benefit is it to our community. I see downsides, but I don't see any upside to our community. I'll let you guys talk and I'll have comment.
Fair enough.
Okay.
You
I
want
understand
to,
Ralph,
I
you want to
understand
address?
there's a meeting in the county courthouse tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning.
Correct. If you want to address me,
Well, I'll address a couple of them, then I'll turn it over to Ralph. He knows a lot more about it than I do. Your board for Drum Point has talked about this. One of the things that's been noted, though, is that it's not in Drum Point. It is on a parcel of land that has no covenants on it at all, and in fact is in between CRE and Drum Point. So it's on the edge of Drum Point's, the property that are under the covenants. It's not really in Drum Point subdivision at all. And
well,
frankly, the
who
board
owns
was
it?
divided on whether it was a good or a bad thing.
Who owns the property?
That would be the club, and Ralph will talk about that.
that is
That's the position
Yeah.
of the board of directors at Drum Point. We
Yeah.
decided to take no position.
John, I'm the president of the Drum Point Club, this area here. We own approximately 28 acres right here.
I'm very familiar with all that, Ralph.
Okay. Well-
That was all done while I was president.
Okay, but then you do know that, you know, where the Drum Point sign is, that is actually owned by us, Drum Point Club. And when you're going in on the left-hand side, that is also owned by us, but that is not part of Drum Point. That is part of, actually it's more part of the Ranch Club there. Where you're going to turn in, you're going to go, the cell tower is going to be built very far in the back, in the middle. It's really not going to be visible from the road. Maybe in the wintertime you'll be able to see it. In the summertime when the leaves and the foliage is out, you probably will not be able to see anything of it. There are some people, probably in the Ranch Club, will be able to see it. Those people may object to it. Who's going to benefit of it? The community's going to benefit because you're going to have improved cell coverage. There are blank spots where even the police cannot get radio contact in Drum Point and in the Ranch Club because there's no communication tower. This tower will help alleviate that. There's a number of people who have problems getting even the cell phone coverage. I talk to people who have to go out in their driveway to get connected. This should alleviate that. We're going to benefit because we're trying to preserve this area here as a community resource and natural area, and we'll get the income. And that's who's going to benefit from the financial aspect of it. And hopefully, if we're benefiting from the financial aspect, hopefully we can also spread that out to the community so the community can also benefit from that.
You might mention that this was an agreement signed 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And that they reduced the height.
Yeah, this was agreement, this is 2.5 years ago, there was a hearing about it. The county turned it down because they thought the tower was too high, and the people who, Telcom, who wanted to put the tower in said, no, we want it that high. They came back and due to technical improvements, the towers are built lower now so you can't see them as much, and they generate more energy and disbursement to the community so you get better coverage. But this has been going for over 2.5 years now. It's just guys basically on the board. The meeting is tomorrow. It's at 9 o'clock down at the courthouse. I've tried to put it out to everybody to know that, you know, this is going on. So it would not be a surprise like it was last time. The people who were in charge of this Drum Point Club didn't really disperse to the community, and the members didn't even know about it. Now, we've done a very good, tried to do the best job we could of notifying everybody so everyone would know. You got concerns, come to the meeting tomorrow. I'm leaving at 8:30, at 8:15. If you want to ride, you can ride with me.
I'm gonna go to Baltimore, so I'm
Okay.
gonna stop in there.
Okay. Well, it's at 9 o'clock, and we're the first on the agenda, so it's, how long it goes, I don't know.
Okay, so anybody else, Susan?
Chairman, I just wanted to mention, we have a cell tower and have had for a number of years in our area in Maine. We have a home on the ocean in Maine. And it has not, nobody has complained, it hasn't interfered with the radios or anything like that. And this is a very tall one, and it certainly hasn't brought value down. I wish it would, but it hasn't. And there hasn't been anything negative about the one. In fact, theirs is very obvious because it's in an area that's not wooded at all. But they fly an American flag from it, which is really kind of neat. So that if you look up, you see the American flag, and I thought that was kind of cool, you know. But just from my experience of dealing with it, there's been nothing negative in our community up there at all. I haven't heard it.
How close is it to the houses?
Well, all the properties are fairly large there.
Maybe Ralph would know, but is it known to disturb radio frequencies and all around it, close by?
I can answer that.
I don't believe.
Since I worked 46 years in the telecommunications business and worked for Sprint, I know a little bit about it, although I'm not an expert.
But I wasn't.
And there is no documented evidence of the cell towers, because of the frequency they work at and the protocols that they use, of any interference with any other
No
type of
interference.
radio or TV signals. Yes, Jim?
Well, I know that almost practically everybody who comes into my house cannot make a phone call from inside my house on a cell phone.
Yeah.
They have to go out in the driveway, go out on the front porch, because I have a lot of trees around my house. And that's another reason why we can't have Dish or DirecTV. We would not get, my next door neighbors tried to get it, and they had to take it out. Wouldn't work because of the trees. And so, if it's going to be camouflaged so well in a wooded area, I'm all for having better reception down here. I had been under the impression that the cell tower was coming down here, right on your club property. I didn't realize it was gonna be in the woods in the front.
Yeah, originally it was planned to be here,
I thought so.
and that was 2.5 years ago,
Okay.
but that was eliminated due to a lot of logistical problems.
Yeah.
We didn't want to do.
Oh,
so.
okay.
And that property, it's
To the front.
not going to be visible from there.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be more visible to people in the Ranch Club than it is to
Uh-huh.
people here in Drum
Well,
Point.
maybe they'll put the flag on it.
Well, we can,
That'd be
okay, we can see what they'll do.
Yeah.
Given that people have a tendency to not take care of flags, I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh.
Pretty soon we'd have a tattered.
But again, I don't think they're going to be able to see
Drag
it.
up there.
In the
Okay.
wintertime, maybe a little bit.
Let me take
but not-
back control of the meeting.
Sure,
Does anybody
go
else
right
have
ahead.
something they want to add?
Okay.
I just have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Is there a projected time frame for construction?
Good question.
Well, it has to be built before July of next year. So it's going to be, once it's approved, and it looks like it's going to be, I mean, it should go right through. Construction is going to start. I mean, the plans have already been, they're already there. It should be just going right through. So
I'm just asking from my other side, my fire department side.
right.
We heard of tower coming down for same thing you guys are talking about. We go to the ranch club and we call for help or Mayday or for police help.
Right.
It's so surprised we can't, our radios don't get out.
Right. Yep.
We just really have any time frame
Yeah.
of where.
And it should help. I'm not saying, I don't know if it's going to eliminate
It's gonna
everything.
help us
but
sell,
It should
right?
help everything.
I don't know if you can get them to let you put an antenna on it for your radios, I don't know. But the cell, it'll sure help with that. because that's what it's for.
I'm sure they kind of piggyback off of.
Yeah, they'll do something, I think there is something on
It's a
that.
tower.
I can ask tomorrow too, if you want to check.
It's a tower.
With the company who was doing it, they own towers all over southern Maryland, and what they do is they own them and they sell the service to the various cell phone carriers, you know, Verizon, AT&T. I know Verizon and AT&T are two that have contracts with them. I'm sure there's some other companies too. I just don't, I don't know who all it is right now.
Do you know if the tower itself is gonna be low profile? Because, you know, you can have a tower that hits you in the face, red and white, you know, alternating going up, or you can have a one that looks like a tree. Do you know?
No, but yeah, those trees really bad.
No, I'm saying
those.
But you know, in a pine forest, a bad-looking pine tree isn't so bad.
Yeah. You know, I'm told that you really aren't going to be able to see it. I mean, I've walked back to where the site is, and I thought it was going to be right off the road, right there, because if you're going out, you see a little post with a orange little flyer on it.
Yeah.
That's where the road to go back in there is. It goes back, I don't have the exact
Well,
dimension.
you only got one block till the next street, so is it?
No, that's pretty big.
Quite a large.
I mean, where the
That
street
area
is,
there, if you
at West Ridge or whatever it is.
But that area there, you know, that was originally, when they designed Drum Point and the Ranch Club, that was originally scheduled to be a school,
Yeah.
an elementary school.
On the original
Okay.
plats.
Yeah, on the original.
Now, I know that in the
So it's pretty big.
in the Calvert Shores annexation plan, if you will, that plot, I believe they're trying to claim, CRE is trying to claim to be part of Calvert Shores, or at least it looks it from the broad map.
We haven't heard anything about that.
Okay, so you probably ought to look into that piece and say, hey, this isn't part of your property, you're not making me part of Calvert Shores, because that could change your tax structure for one.
Well, it is, well, I understand, but that is actually mixed with the same plot that the sign's on.
I got it, but what I'm saying is that the way they are outlining what they want to take over to be Calvert Shores, that plot, because it looks like the border they're using is Breda, that they think in their mind, just like they want to take the entire business district of Lusby into into it.
All right, well, you make a good point, and
something
I will get on that and check
What
into
is
that.
Calvert Shores?
Calvert Shores is an effort to change Chesapeake Ranch Estates into a town, like Chesapeake, like North Shore and
North Beach.
North
They
North
tried
Beach.
to do it to Drum Point a couple of years ago.
Right, but
Yes,
this
the
is
same folks, actually.
yeah. So the effort is still ongoing. They're trying to get the state to put it on the ballot and make it into a community that can tax you. And
You know, I did look at it when it first came out, and it wasn't on there now. They may have changed
They
that.
have
and put
changed
it- Okay, well then, I haven't seen that, and we will definitely check about that. Yeah.
Okay, so the cell tower is, I think we've beat that to death. There's nothing we can do about it, other than go to the meeting tomorrow and voice your concern. Understand it's got to be approved by the county because it requires variance, I believe.
It does.
So they'll be listening. If you can't make it, call your friends and have them go, is all I can tell
Yeah,
you.
well, I just heard about it, you know, and I was, it really got to me when the power company put up these 165-foot towers all through. And I feel like I'm driving into Allentown, Pennsylvania when I drive into Drum Point, Solomon's. That really bothered me, and so then when I heard the towers going up right in my neighborhood, and for some reason information bypassed me, or I bypassed it, and I'm thinking, here's another damn tower going up. And the power company did that before we could really have mounted much opposition to it or anything, you know, so. So I really wanted to learn more about it.
Well, good. I mean, we tried to get it out to everybody.
I know you did, Ralph, and
Okay, is there anybody want to talk about anything else, or anything else we can talk about? So, you sure? Okay.
I have a question to everybody here. My name is Alex, I'm from Parent. I'm so new to the neighborhood, I've been here for about four years. I'm also a volunteer with Solomon's Fire Department. I'm currently a sergeant there. And I've been trying to come to the meeting as much as I can. But part of my job, because I'm a Joint Point member, is be a liaison between Joint Point and the fire department. I'm also part of the safety committee in Joint Point. So what I want to know if there's any concerns from you guys, neighbors, the community, about towards us, the fire department. Concerns, questions, comments, bad or good ideas that you guys might have or may be inquiring of. If you guys don't have any, let your neighbors know. Pass the word.
You can have them call the office, and we'll pass it along.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
No problem.
Yeah,
You also-
Alex was voted into the safety committee, Alex,
Yeah.
about a year ago, I guess it was. And we have 10, 11, 12 members on the safety committee. And during the last storm, Al Jeffries, who was the emergency coordinator up in Prince Frederick, and Alex and his chief were in touch with us, and about a tree that was down on Beach Drive, and the fire department was very nice to come over with your capabilities and took that tree right off the road. And, that was very helpful, and I think pass that on, that we appreciate that kind of support.
Oh,
Really appreciate that. So we want to continue. We were talking about possibly getting an AED sometime from the fire department and getting some training on it, but we can continue to work on that, and maybe down here at the clubhouse or up at the office, maybe someday we'll be able to get an AED. One of the good things about having the office and this place here is that we pre-position first aid equipment. Sometimes the volunteer fire department personnel, the ambulances, instead of going to the fire department, if it's near their house, they go directly to the scene. And if Rosby Hall Road is cut off, there's so many volunteers right around here that if we pre-position some of our equipment, such as an AED or something, nearby, it's some of those volunteers, instead of going to the firehouse, could respond immediately using the facilities that we have at the office. So that's we try to do a mutually supportive effort in that regard. Thanks for coming, Alex. I appreciate it.
no problem.
I have a question.
Yes.
When we call 911 on a medical emergency, why do they send a fire engine and an ambulance? Isn't that kind of a waste of taxpayers' money?
It all depends on the type of call.
Okay.
When you call 911,
Mm-hmm.
they enter the call into a computer.
Yes, I know that.
The computer will be programmed to assign specific units
Mm-hmm.
to the call. So if that call has been assigned for a medic unit, and BLS ambulance, and an engine company, the engine company is there for manpower to assist the EMTs and the medic to move the patient, either CPR, it's down, passed out on the floor if you're unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Two people just can't move dead weight by themselves. So that's why the engine comes along. And a lot of times we try to send an SUV with the ambulance to avoid the tear on the engine, because the engine costs a lot of money, and we know that. So we try to keep the big units in the house and
Mm-hmm.
send the small ones on calls like that to avoid wasting tax money.
It just seems like when there is an emergency like that, so many people come at once. I mean, policemen and ambulances
Yeah,
and fire engines.
It all depends on the type of call.
Oh.
If it's a call for overdose, somebody OD on heroin, the police are coming just because it's a drug.
Uh-huh.
Somebody can be violent. So
Well, I can understand that part, but, okay.
yeah, it just depends on the call.
All right, thank you.
How about asking the question the other way around?
Okay.
Is there anything that we, as the association, need to do to help the fire department improve? You know, maybe there's specific road or something that's giving you a problem, or that type of thing, yeah.
One of the things that, a couple of things I can think of offhand is pushing people to number the houses more visible. So the house numbers be more visible. So when we come by at 2 o'clock in the morning, this is my house, 12939, it's not back behind the tree over the door. And I'll drive right by it and I'll miss it. That's one thing. Another thing is we need volunteers. We need members, we need help. We have three ambulances and we run them non-stop every day. And it's all volunteers from midnight to 6 in the morning. We all have to work too. So, between that and volunteering and come down, you want to set a meeting, come down, you can meet the chief. We can go over what we have, what future projects we have, and what we can do as a community to assist our volunteer station. That'll be great.
Okay, let me announce the results. The vote was 12 to zip, so the motion was approved, and John and Marcia,
John,
Paula, why
Libby,
did I keep
Paula.
calling her Marcia? And
Libby,
Libby have been elected, and will take seats on the board. Thank you.
Congratulations, John.
We're done unless somebody else has something else to talk about. Yes?
Gary, I just want to thank everybody that's here for your service to the community. I know what you go through to give this service, and it's not always appreciated the way it should be. But I guarantee you, I sure appreciate it. And I know that I'm not active anymore. I had a bad health event about 5 years ago that sort of slowed me up, and I'm not doing too much with the organizations lately, but I really appreciate what you folks are doing.
John, I think you paid your dues. You did your dues.
Well, if you need me for something special anytime, just give me a call.
Oh, thank you. We'll keep that in mind.
John's name is on the plaque.
It is.
Honorable.
I'm sorry I didn't recognize it.
And members, he's got a permanent plaque for his contribution to the community.
We need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, we're done. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.